I worked 30 years overseas in Latin America and the Caribbean. I saw students walking miles to school, arriving late and tired, and eventually dropping out. I saw laborers spending more time walking than working, and farmers unable to carry their produce to market. Lots of people, but few bikes. In the United States, on the other hand, we have lots of bicycles. More than 15 million are sold annually. Most are used recreationally, and many simply collect dust. We created Bikes for the World to link a place where bikes are plentiful and underused to places where they are scarce but productive. We put old bikes to good use to help people improve their lives, and we do it on a large scale, collecting bikes nationwide. Bikes for the World has helped transform thousands of lives globally. Since 2005, we've delivered over 100,000 bicycles with 3 paid staff members and hundreds of volunteers. Our objective is to deliver 100,000 bikes each year. To do this, we need to strengthen core program support, financial management, and fundraising capacity. Increased staffing will enable Bikes for the World to double collections of used bikes in our home Mid-Atlantic region. It'll also let us spread nationally, replicating our program in 6 other regions. We will partner with existing organizations, mentor new organizations, and establish volunteer chapters that will collect and ship the bikes with our help. This increased production will allow us to double the number of overseas partners receiving bikes from the current 6 to 12. One of the reasons we're so successful is the nature of the bicycle in the United States. Nearly everyone has one to give, and they love putting them to good use. Our donors appreciate the environmental aspect of recycling quality bikes as well. We're also successful because we charge for our services and products. For our donors, we suggest a $10 per bike donation because we provide a service of putting their old bike to good use. We found that this raises the average quality of our donations. People with junk tend not to come. It also makes our volunteers feel happier and appreciated since they're working with better bicycles. We also charge our overseas partners for the cost of delivering the bicycles. This makes them invested in the success of the project from the time they receive them at customs all the way to distribution. Our business model makes us effective. We collect used bikes through a decentralized network of diverse service organizations and individual volunteers. This makes it logistically and emotionally easy for bike donors. We're close by, working in partnership with an organization they already know and trust. We're also effective because we partner with corporate and independent bicycle retailers. We help them sell new bikes, and they help us receive used bikes. Finally, we have a strong volunteer base who work together to compact the bikes for efficient storage and shipment. We measure our success quantitatively by tracking the number of bikes delivered. We also look at qualitative measures like the personal impact of a bicycle on individual beneficiaries or the growth and evolution of our partner organizations. For example, our Bikes for Education program in the Philippines provides bikes to students living far from school and at risk of dropping out. One of these students was Joan, who received a bike, rode it to school every day, and has now graduated. Multiply her story by the thousands of bikes we deliver, and consider that the program is continuing to expand to serve new communities. That's a lot of bikes and a lot of diplomas. Some think we provide bikes to individuals. Actually, we give our bikes to other organizations, typically 500 bikes at a time in a 40-foot shipping container. Bikes for the World is a wholesaler. We're the link between individual donors in the States and receiving agencies in other countries. This large scale enables us to efficiently benefit many thousands of individuals annually. Some think we refurbish bikes, but we don't. Our volunteers simply reduce the bikes in size for greater efficiency of handling. This enables us to inexpensively ship thousands of bicycles. It also allows receiving organizations to train and employ local people to recondition the bicycles. Bikes for the World delivered 100,000 bikes in our first 8 years. That's 100,000 kids to school, laborers to work, farmers to market. We've also partnered with major corporations and achieved national scale, shipping bikes not only from our headquarters in D.C., but also from our sister programs in Boston, Chicago, and St. Louis. And we have volunteer groups elsewhere preparing first-time shipments. A challenge has been having bicycles taken seriously as a legitimate form of personal transport. In the United States, most people see bicycles as toys or simply for recreational use. But in so many other countries, bikes are tools for economic empowerment. They're productive assets for workers, tradesmen, farmers, and students. Some policymakers and transportation planners in developing countries see bicycles as backwards, unworthy of investment. Some of these people see used bicycles from the United States as our society's insulting cast-offs. Overcoming these biases requires good pilot projects with strong partners, careful selection of bikes, and measurable results to change negative attitudes. Our current staff consists of 3 people. With additional resources, Bikes for the World would hire more staff to help us get more bikes to more people. We would create an outreach position for schools and youth to multiply the number of school-based collections and generate more bike donations. We'd also hire a program officer to increase the quality and quantity of overseas partners receiving bikes. We would add a development officer for fundraising and corporate partnerships, and a communications officer for accountability to volunteers, donors, and the public. Lastly, we'd bring on a national liaison to support collection initiatives in other regions and replicate our program nationwide. The most significant gap would be to improve the screening, monitoring, and evaluation of project results. This would give us a better picture of our impact and help us select better projects to improve results. We would add better educational materials to make the volunteer experience more meaningful, attract new volunteers, and boost volunteer retention. We also want to strengthen our ability to measure and communicate the results of our work. Our bikes are more than a one-time charitable transaction. They're a tool to help people transform their lives. The better we can promote our mission, the better we can attract volunteers and donors, the very core of our work.